Lots of allegations at one end from your side where it comes down to the Bitcoin conspiracy involving what you allege is Supriya Sule as well as Nana Patole. Your own leader Ajit Pawar has now come out and said this is Supriya Sule's voice. She slapped a defamation against you.
When Ajit Dada Pawar has spoken this thing, though, nothing on my side to speak on it. It's very, this allegation was slapped yesterday even, and we are also demanding the investigation in this matter because it is a cyber crime. If somebody has done it, it should come in the public forum also. So I have to say nothing on this issue, but I want to say one thing regarding this election, that the Mahayuti is demanding this our vote from the people on the last 2.5 year performance. What we have done in last 2.5 years is a achievement. It's a clear cut different type of achievement in the different sector of the Maharashtra, and we are sure that if we will form our government, we will do more than this 2.5 years for this Maharashtra peoples.
All right, we're getting a news break coming in. We're going to come right back. Uddhav Thackeray has come out and defended Supriya Sule in midst of the Bitcoin scam allegations by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Uddhav Thackeray has said, no matter how much BJP spreads lies, people know the truth. Uddhav Thackeray making that statement right after he voted and coming out and saying no matter how much BJP spreads lies, people know the truth. That statement been given by Uddhav Thackeray, the Maha Vikas Aghadi, coming out and stating, and I'll bring in Shehzad Poonawalla into this conversation. We'll also cut across to Krishna Hegde right after that. But Shehzad Poonawalla, the entire might of the Maha Vikas Aghadi coming out and stating that the press conference you held late last night, making allegations where the Bitcoin conspiracy is concerned against Ms. Sule as well as Nana Patole is nothing but diversionary tactics. You want to coerce the voters to look elsewhere from the cash for vote scam, which was allegedly unearthed in the evening yesterday involving your very own leader, Mr. Tawde, where FIRs are now registered.
Not only am I born in Pune, but my name also has Pune, and I've seen Maharashtra politics since my entire life. This is the first time that Swargya Babasaheb Thackeray ji used to call Sharad Pawar scoundrel of politics. Quote unquote, he has said it to NDTV, and today's son has gone against the wishes of his own father and is defending Supriya Sule. And by the way, Bitcoin scam has not been brought out by me. Bitcoin scam has been brought out by an IPS officer, former IPS officer, with the proof, with the audio, video, whatever it is. But where there is no proof, no CCTV footage, even after so many hours, there they are saying that one person is guilty. But here is Dheeraj Sahu from his house, 350 crores were recovered. And you're sitting with them, Uddhavji. And JMM was convicted in the cash for vote scam in 1994. You're sitting with them, Uddhavji. And Congress was doing the cash for vote scam. Ask Rajdeep Sardesai. He knows 2008, the cash for vote scam took place in parliament. You're sitting with them, Uddhavji. Uddhavji, this is called, what I say, Vichardhara Jihad. You have left Savarkarji. You have left Hindu Hriday Samrat Babasaheb Thackeray ji. You are today with Mr. Nomani, and today you are with Mufti Salman. You are with Abu Azmi, and you are unable to take stand on 370 or on Muslim Arakshan, which Revant Reddy has said. And finally, Preeti forgot everything else. Today there should be a point of discussion on one thing, which is very important to everyone, including you and me. Just let me read one list. 2000 to 2014 was Congress NCP government. 2002 Ghatkopar blast, December 2002 Central Railway Station blast, Vile Parle blast, Mulund blast, Bandra blast, Ghatkopar blast, Zaveri Bazar blast, 7 bomb blasts in 2006, Bhiwandi riots in 2006, 2008 26/11, 2012 my city Pune underwent a blast, Dhule riots in 2013. Now in the last 10 years of Mr. Fadnavis, minus the 2.5 years of Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, you please name 5 blasts. 5 blasts that have taken place during.
All right, by the virtue of that, Krishna Hegde, by the virtue of that, by the virtue of what Shehzad Poonawalla just said, Krishna Hegde, to bring you in on this, then why did the result come out the way it did in Lok Sabha elections? Because the parliamentary elections showed that Maharashtra decisively voted for the Maha Vikas Aghadi. And if that trend continues, then possibly the Mahayuti is in trouble again in Vidhan Sabha.
No, Preeti, if you look at the Lok Sabha elections and the Vidhan Sabha elections, both are two different issues. The issues here are more local, there it is more central. Apart from that, there was a false narrative, संविधान खतरे में है, संविधान को धोखा है, संविधान बदला जाएगा. Rahul Gandhi with his famous empty red book in his pocket going all across the world and then going to USA and saying that I want to remove reservation. So this is Rahul Gandhi for you, double-faced, double-voiced. But even the Congress spokesperson was just mentioning Samvidhan ko khatra hai. Just tell me one thing. Narendra Modi ji was the Chief Minister of Gujarat for 13 years and now the Prime Minister for almost 11 years. Where is Samvidhan ko kab khatra tha, kab Samvidhan ko kab धोखा था और सम्मान्य प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कब बात किया इसके बारे में? The only person talking about this is Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party since the last 1 year.
Okay.
But all these issues will not work in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has a different mindset. Maharashtra looks at, the icons of Maharashtra like Savarkar, and the Congress is anti-Savarkar. Maharashtra looks at farmer issues, and here, like you said, cash, crop, and caste. For crop, we've given the farmers compensation of 6,000 rupees, from the center, 6,000 rupees from the state. We've given them free electricity. We've given them compensation for unseasonal rains for onion, grapes, tomato, and
Okay.
all the other things. We've
All
given
right,
them
okay, but
minimum
Mr.
support
Hegde,
price.
where agrarian distress is concerned, then there is a counter to that because most political analysts who have visited Vidarbha and Marathwada will say if there's a political crop this season, it is the crop of soya bean. And you and I both know that MSP procurement for soya bean has started only last week, and that also in terms of grades, you have only modified that 2 days ago. But I'll come right back to it. News break coming in. I'll come right back. Shehzad also wants to come in. Allow me to go into a news break. I'll come in and bring in the Congress spokesperson into this conversation. Slow voting right now continues where Maharashtra is concerned. Maharashtra sluggish this morning. 18.1% only till 11 a.m. That is abysmal, viewers, where Maharashtra is concerned. 9 a.m. it was 6.6. Still not as much as it was in 2019. Maharashtra is voting slowly. The trend of even Lok Sabha 2024 continuing, where there was slow voting in the state of Maharashtra. And right now, the voting percentage at 11 a.m. stands at just about 18.1%. Doesn't look good where the voter turnout is concerned. On the contrary, Jharkhand is coming out in large numbers. We're going to give that voter turnout in Jharkhand. Come on, Maharashtra, look at Jharkhand coming out in large numbers. By 9 a.m., Jharkhand was about 13%, viewers. We're going to cut across, get more, from our reporters on ground. Sluggish voting this morning. The urban apathy continues where the urban pockets is concerned, even though 60% of Maharashtra lives in its urban belts, but the seats of the rural Maharashtra are more. Having said that, go out and vote Maharashtra. 18.1% till 11 a.m. doesn't quite cut it. Let's cut across back to our panelists. Joining me as well is Mahesh Chavan, spokesperson, NCP, Sharad Pawar. Mahesh Chavan, even this morning, the charges of Bitcoin scam continues to fly, especially involving your very leader, Supriya Sule.
See, first of all, Supriya Sule ji has denied all the charges. She has filed a defamation suit or she has sent a notice to BJP and whoever, Sudhanshu Trivedi. So, secondly, you look at the chronology, as you mentioned just now. Yesterday, Vinod Taude, he comes up with this cash for vote thing. And immediately after that, BJP hits back with these bitcoins and cryptocurrency. So people of Maharashtra already know these tactics of BJP. You know, despite of all the allegations made by the BJP so many years, recent Lok Sabha elections, people of Maharashtra voted for the MVA, sending a clear message to the Mahayuti. So they have started, after receiving this setback, Mahayuti has started feeling the discontent of the people of Maharashtra. And that is why they are indulged in such kind of tactics to defy the Maha Vikas Aghadi leaders. This is it. This is what I feel.
All right, okay. Amitabh Tiwari, I want to quickly pull you in on this. While we're continuing to deliberate on what are the factors that are going to swing this, election in Maharashtra, We've spoken about the caste dynamics. We've spoken about the agrarian distress. We've spoken about, the schemes, the cash handouts. We've also spoken about the corruption angle of all of it. But there is one angle which we really quite haven't touched on and which could also hold the key this election, and that is the independent rebel factor. 28% more candidate in this election compared to the 2019 assembly elections, where it came down to rebels, Amitabh Tiwari, or independents. 4,136 independents, rebels in the fray. 70 of those are key rebel candidates from either sides of the party. Do you think it's going to cut both ways, impact both the Mahayuti or the Aghadi, or do you suggest possibly a word that you hear so much on ground in Maharashtra, a Paksh, could harm one faction more than the other?
No, essentially, if you see the number of candidates, this time is 14.4 per seat, which is more than 11.2 in 2019. So there are anywhere between 70 to 100 rebels across parties. And what we've seen in the past, that these candidates tend to harm both the alliances. So there are almost equal number of rebels from both sides, and they will harm the prospects of both MVA and Mahayuti differently in different seats. And some of them could even win, because Maharashtra has a history of 25 to 30 independents and smaller parties winning with almost a 25% vote share average. So on 25-30 seats, they could be kingmakers, or they are in contention to win. And on the balance seats, they could spoil the prospects depending upon the caste, power dynamics, relationships, etc. So we'll have to wait and see, because if this election gets very close, the role of the independents, not only in forming the government, but also as spoilers as to on how many seats they have dampened the prospects, like in Haryana, of Congress or BJP, will have to be watched out for.
So, what's the role that the Apaksh plays this time? It's a word, was one of the catchphrases, at least when I traveled through Vidhar, when I traveled through Marathwada. You heard it a lot. How is it going to impact? We'll only know when that last vote is counted. I want to pull back both the Congress and the BJP spokespersons into this conversation. Bhavna Sharma Jain, the other X factor many would suggest is welfarism, Yojana schemes. The Ladki Bahin Yojana is what the BJP is banking heavily on. Competitive welfarism, Bhavna Sharma, is going to be a factor, because you can continue to criticize the Ladki Bahin Yojana, you can continue to give out the figures in which Maharashtra is in debt, but on the other side, if they are giving in 1,500 rupees, you're now promising 3,000.
Preeti, I want to bring in a couple of points that I was unable to make earlier. One of the first things is Maharashtra is a state of Shahu Phule Ambedkar. It is the land where, BJP is trying to bring in their divisive politics by batenge to katenge kind of narrative. That is not going to work in Maharashtra. People of Maharashtra are very, very intelligent, and they know that this kind of politics of BJP is not going to be accepted across Maharashtra. That's the first point. Secondly, I want to say that all the schemes, all the infrastructure development schemes that Mr. Poonawalla was talking about were all initiated, planned, and envisioned during the Congress regime in the 2014 era. So the first metro was started in 2014. The Trans-Harbour Link, which is now they have named it as Atal Setu, was a scheme, a plan of the Congress government. The Bandra-Worli Sea Link was completed in 2008-9 timeframe. So let's not talk about them taking forward the schemes that were already in place and were planned and envisioned and on the go. So if they have completed them, and they've completed them partially and inaugurated them, so let them try to take some claim and some benefit of that. That's all right. But right now the issue is the jobs in Maharashtra. The youth of Maharashtra are a concern, where the jobs are, or the projects, 17 projects were highlighted in a press conference recently taken by our leader Rahul Gandhi ji, where 17 projects named that were taken away from the youth of Maharashtra, jobs were taken away from the youth of Maharashtra and sent to Gujarat. This election is about those jobs. This election is about protecting the constitution, which the BJP has totally destroyed. This election is about saving the farmers, which the BJP, the Mahayuti government
I'll come to you, Shehzad. Let her finish. I'll give you full time.
Crisis.
Okay.
This election is about rising inflation, triple the price
महंगाई.
of
All right. Okay.
this gas
We'll only know
cylinder.
what this election is
Women-
about, Ms. Sharma, once that last vote is counted come the 23rd of November. But you've given out the points that you wanted to touch on. But Shehzad Poonawala, you wanted to make a point earlier as well. Respond to the Congress spokesperson in terms of what the Congress alleges is not just diversionary tactics, but trying to communalize this election. Go ahead.
I'll respond point by point to what Bhavna has said. She said that we are playing divisive politics. Bhavna ji, meeting Mufti Salman by Abu Azmi, who's part of your alliance, who calls for Ghazwa-e-Hind, divisive or uniting politics. Revant Reddy 2 days ago said that Muslim reservation should be there. Divisive, pro-constitution, anti-constitution. And Sajjad Nomani was met by Mr. Swara Bhaskar's husband Fahad Ahmed. Divisive or unity? Please tell me. And he made an appeal that vote jihad and our Sipa Salar is Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray. Point number one. Point number two, you have said that these schemes were planned by you. Then please tell me how many 1,500 rupees have been given to women in Haryana, Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Bhavan is on the verge of being sold away. We have seen toilet tax in Himachal which had to be taken back. In Karnataka, how many women have got this money? Please tell me. In Telangana, please tell me how many women have been given or how many unemployed have been given 3,000 rupees. That's another issue. Now, coming to the last issue that she has raised. She said that the big projects have gone away. Foxconn project went away when Uddhav Thackeray was CM. By the way, Boeing project and the project of iPhone, those projects were going to Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. They are ruled by your states, not by Gujarat. Thirdly, please tell me that what was the FDI during Uddhav Thackeray? It had come to number 3 position, less than 40%. Today it is 52%, number 1 position. And last, you have seen the opening statement of Bhavna. She said Shahu, Ambedkar, Fule's Maharashtra. Absolutely. She forgot Savarkarji. One question I asked her that you please say Savarkarji is great. So she has removed from the pantheon of great leaders of Maharashtra, Savarkarji has been eliminated. Now I asked Mr. Chavan with my hands folded that Mr. Chavan, is Savarkarji not great? This is the level to which these anti-Maharashtra people are sitting, and they are making you anti-Maharashtra. Okay. We renamed Aurangabad as Sambhajinagar, Congress opposed it. We renamed Osmanabad as Dharashiv, Congress opposed it. Congress likes Aurangzeb, they don't like Savarkar.
All right, okay. Well, the Uddhav Thackeray unit, Shehzad will say that we named Aurangabad Sambhaji Nagar, but we're going to come right back.
Then they should own it. They should own it.
Okay, fine. But they say they own it, but like that is what competitive politics is all about. I want to quickly cut across to our 2 other panelists and political analysts on the show. Professor Badri Narayan, we've spoken about multiple factors that would be, the backbone on which the voters vote this election. If you had to pick one X factor that could tip the scales, what would it be?
Priti, I think Maharashtra election is really very complex election. And it reminds us Mahabharata, at least in some of the region. Family is fighting against family. Who is Kaura, who is Pandava is very difficult to say, but fighting against each other. Also, ideologically, it's a very hybrid election. Those who are fighting for Hindutva, now they are not fighting for that. And both are claiming for same legacy. So the person who was fighting against each other, now together, now they are fighting each other. So it's a very complex in this form.
It's a complex election, but Amitabh Tiwari, also it's going to be a seat-by-seat, hyper-local elections where seat-by-seat issues are changing. There are regions where there are macro issues, but the micro dynamics of a seat will hold.
Yes, it's a seat-by-seat election. It's a 288 many battles.
That's and if it's a seat-by-seat election, it's advantage who, Amitabh? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
If it is a seat-by-seat election, always the incumbent is in a weaker position, because what happens is that then there is lack of an overarching theme on which voters are voting, correct? Because then anti-incumbency against the MLA starts coming into play. However, there is a seat-by-seat battle, there are local dynamics, there is BJP candidate working for Congress candidate working for Shiv Sena. You have both the Shiv Sena factions, which leader is in which faction, you have 2 NCP factions, so the voters are also confused. We were speaking about a seat. There are 3 candidates from 3 parties, main parties, and all of them have a Congress background. So is the symbol even important there, like in Sri Rampur? So it is a very confusing election, and since a lot of municipal elections have not happened, the issues of all these local elections have also just boxed into one election now. which is the Vidhan Sabha election.
But
So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we have to wait and see because, in traditional psephology, one might suggest if it comes down to a seat-by-seat election, it's a disadvantage incumbent. But we've also seen in recent past that if it comes down to a localized seat-by-seat election, possibly the Bharatiya Janata Party manages the election better.